Hello, gorgeous, beautiful stars! Paris Star Channel here welcomes you during a new episode, a very exciting episode, and it looks like one of your favorites as well, which is, guys, a battle. We are going to have a little bit of a battle and comparison of the most famous now launches. Concealer battles, concealer filled with skincare. On one side, we have a contestant, is this the word? Dior Forever Skin Correct, that is going to compete against the Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Concealer. Both concealer filled with skincare, filled with great ingredients that it's supposed to take care about your skin, it's supposed to give you coverage, and it's supposed to beautify you. Too good to be true? Guys, I had an experience while working with these concealers and I definitely thought about making this episode. I think it's a very great idea to compare them both of them and to decide which concealer might be for you. So yes, today it's a concealer battle episode. So yes, guys, if this is something that interests you, please tune in to the party where we celebrate everyone's diversity. Diversity makes us all different and beautiful. So yes, let's start today's episode. Today's episode is all about the battle between the concealers Givenchy against the Dior. Okay guys, and so here we are back, ready to do the battle between most famous now launches that has just happened. One of them is Dior Forever Skin Correct, and the second one is Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Concealer. Both concealer filled with skincare that is supposed to give me coverage and it's supposed to take care about my skin. Let me just tell you one thing before we're gonna start and go anywhere. Do I believe in skincare in the products? I don't mind. Should I say? What I am trying to say, certain makeup can be drying, and dry makeup can basically can make me look older, and no one wants to look older. People use makeup to enhance their natural beauty, so this is the makeup that I am looking for. So if I can find a skin caring makeup that it's not going to dry my skin and it's not going to make my skin look older and wrinkly, this is something that I'm looking for. So if I can find concealers that they're claiming that they can moisture my skin and they can take care about my skin without tiring my skin, thus enhancing my own beauty, yes, this is something that I am looking for, and this is something that apparently these concealers are doing. So obviously a battle, it has to happen. This is something that you enjoy to watch, and this is something that I enjoy to do for you today, right now. So before we're going to do anything, first we're going to do a little bit of a swatches. First, let's start with Dior Forever Skin Correct. Mine is in a shade 0.5N. This is how the product looks like. And I must say the new formulations, because the old formulation was already very nice concealer, but the new formulation is definitely very nice, very interesting. A detailed review can be seen on my and displayed on my channel. You are more than welcome and invited to watch that. But today we are definitely doing a little bit of a shortcut and just putting out the most interesting things about that concealer. So yes, 0.5N, and I am going to do a swatch in here. You're going to understand later why this swatch is over here, and then I'm gonna spread it just like that. And as you can see, it is certainly very nicely pigmented. Such kind of a line gives you certainly a lot of pigment. Second concealer that I would like to talk about would be the one from Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Concealer. Mine is in the shade C105. This is how the product looks like, and again, very interesting concealer, a very interesting approach from Givenchy and Prisme Libre. I love Prisme Libre Skin Caring Glow collection. It really takes care about my skin. It does not dry my skin, and I love it. So yes, there is a swatch right over here of that concealer. We are going to spread it, and we are going to leave it like that. Good. So once again, the battle between the Dior right over here and between the Givenchy Prisme Libre. So first, what are we going to do? We are actually going to put this concealer in my under eye area. When it comes to Dior, it is very nicely pigmented, and it doesn't need a lot of it to give you a very nice coverage. Just like so, 2 dots. And guys, we are going to work with my hands today without any extra tools and whatnot, so that you can see how it works. The consistency of this concealer is very interesting. It is not super creamy like it was previously before the reformulation. It is kind of like lotiony, you know, so it is still a very nice consistency, but not super liquidy, and it melts with your skin really very nicely. As you can see right now, it is extremely comfortable to the skin, and it spreads, guys, like butter. It works with your skin really very nicely, and when it comes to finish, it gives you a very beautiful natural finish. As you can see right now, it melts with your skin like a butter. Alright, and as you can see, the Dior melts perfectly with my skin. It looks gorgeous, it looks beautiful. On the other side, we're going to use the Givenchy, as you can see, the shade C105. It is definitely lighter. I kind of these days, I don't know, I'm going for a very bright concealers. Maybe I should go a little bit darker. Well, when you swatch and you consult yourself in a store, there are different lights, and it's very kind of mesmerizing. It's a little bit deceiving. So when I was buying that shade on that day, I thought it's a perfect one, but right now I think I could go a little bit darker. Doesn't matter. I have it. Here we go. So we're going to put this concealer on the other side. Very interesting doe foot, and here we go. So when it comes to consistency of the Givenchy concealer, it is incredible. I mean, I haven't met such a thin consistency packed with so much pigment since a very long time, guys. It is, I don't even know how to explain it. It is the thinnest consistency that I've seen in a very long time, while it's just packing the coverage. How did they do that? I don't know. And on top of that, such a thin consistency, it's not drying at all. It is extremely comfortable, and my under eye area, they just love it. So yeah, it was a huge surprise for me to see this concealer in action, because most of the concealers, they basically extremely thick, like a paste, and then they dry, and then they crease, and it just doesn't look good. This concealer from Givenchy has the thinnest consistency I've ever met, while having an extremely condensed pigment, and it spreads awesome. It is incredible. Oh yeah, guys. So there you have it. The concealers has been applied. Let me now approach so that you can see if we have any crease. If Dior crease or maybe Givenchy, do they crease? Let me check first in my mirror. And yes, I think I'm ready. Let's go. So this is how the concealers looks like from the close-up. The Dior has creased very gently, very lightly. It did crease, but I've seen horrible concealers that does horrible thing. That little crease for me is nothing. And how about the Givenchy? It has creased minimalistic. As you can see, there are creases on both sides, but no drama in here whatsoever. These concealers, they look beautifully so far on the skin. They melt with the skin, and for me, I love it. I love it. How do they look like? Let me just remind you, I'm over 40 years old. My skin is normal to dry. My under eye area is extremely demanding and dry. Putting an extra dryness to my under eye area is not a very good idea. So usually I avoid concealers because so far the formulation was not very flattering for my under eye area. It was usually the concealers were self-setting, drying, and it didn't look very good. But right now, guys, since we have these skin caring formulas that are moisturizing and giving you coverage, it is insane how the technology is going forward and how it is looking. So yes, guys, the concealers are applied, and right now let's go to the categories and let's distribute points in certain categories. Then we're gonna count the points and see and declare the winner of the battle. Is it going to be Givenchy or is it going to be Dior? We shall find out by the end of this video. So yes, when it comes to coverage, when it comes to finish, and when it comes to consistency, this is the first category. I can say that both of these concealers, they give you beautiful medium coverage. When it comes to finish, it is a beautiful natural finish. And when it comes to consistency, this one is more lotiony like, which is more thickened in comparison with this one that is super thin, almost like some sort of a serum consistency. It doesn't really matter a lot, but for me, what is absolutely shocking is Givenchy. How did they manage in such a super thin, lightweight consistency, pack so much pigment that it's not super heavy for the under eye area. It melts with the skin, and both of these concealers, in my opinion, they deserve to have 1 point. So when it comes to the first category, which would be the coverage, the finish, and the consistency, both of them, they get 1 point. Next category that I would like to talk about would be the price, because I suppose it is very important to talk about the price. In these days, I suppose everyone has its own budget that can be spent on the luxurious products. So, when it comes to Givenchy, I found the price of Givenchy and it is 41 euro. While for Dior, different stores propose different prices from 37 euros, 38 euros. We're going to stop on 38 euros. So, in my opinion, according to the stores that I have found and I was looking for prices, Dior is more affordable just by a few euros, okay? We're talking about 41 euros against the 38 euros. Still, Dior in this category, it is a winner and gets 1 point. The next category, it is how much do we have the product inside the bottle, and I suppose it is a very generous amount. Both of these concealers, they propose you 11 milliliters of product. For the price, I think that is actually very affordable. I know concealers that cost the same and they propose half of these bottles. 11 milliliters, it's a lot. It is a concealer that claims to be very good for your under eye area, but it is a concealer that claims to be good all over your face and replace a little bit of your makeup. We are going to test it out a little bit later. So when it comes to how much you get, 11 milliliters is it's a very good capacity, should I say, and both of these concealers, they deserve to get 1 point. The next category that I would like to talk about would be the shade range, because it is very important. Can we find our shade in the range? Sometimes you can have 40 shades and like more than more than a half they're just so yellow or just so orange and it's just like so off. So a good shade range, it is very important. When it comes to Givenchy proposes you 24 shades. A very good shade range, because it is actually a little bit of a warm tone, a little bit of a cool tone, a little bit of a neutral. Everything is included in here. While the Dior, this is very confusing. The Dior website, the official Dior website, tells you that it offers 30 shades. I could not find 30 shades. The most of the shades was around 25, 26. So let's just stop on 26 shades. It depends on the websites that you can find the product. So when it comes to this category, the shades 24 against 26, 1 point goes to the winner, which would be Dior. The next category, I think a very exciting category, would be the ingredients. What do we have in these skin caring concealers? I am actually very interested and intrigued. What do they offer? Okay, what kind of ingredients can we have? Because back in the past, the concealer was just supposed to look good and perform good, and that was it. These days, the brands are totally shifting their approach to what we're putting on our face. My approach is like this. I don't mind having a skin caring components within the concealers. If a concealer can be non-drying and moisturizing to my under eye area, I love it, because my under eye area, they love it. And then my makeup can look flawless and it's not making me look older. Quite the contrary, it actually is a beautifying makeup. So for me, skin caring, moisturizing ingredients are more than welcome. What is kind of your approach? That's your personal thing. So when it comes to the ingredients, there is one more important thing that needs to be said. That needs to be said, which is the longevity. And the longevity, it is very highly impacted now, because those kind of controversial preservatives that was back in the past in these products, they're gone. They're gone. The controversial preservatives, they're gone. What does it mean? Shelf life, 6 months for both of them, which is... This is the cost. This is the cost that you need to pay for having good ingredients within these products. There's something for something. So 6 months, it's not a lot, considering that you have 11 milliliters of a product. You have to actually hurry up to use it, which means in my hobby profession, I will never be able to use this. I wish they would make a travel size bottle, half of it, 5 milliliters for half of the price. That would be good, because for me, 6 months, certain product might it might be a lost. So yes, this is the side effects of having a good ingredients. The shelf life is definitely very impacted. and you have only 6 months. But then let's go and have a quick comparison to the ingredients list. And right now you can see a little bit of a table, a little bit of a chart with the ingredients. And by all means, I am not an expert. I just study a little bit of an ingredients because I'm interested what am I putting on my face and keeping on my face for more than 10 hours while wearing makeup, you know. And sometimes the brands can be deceiving, can propose you some sort of a clean beauty. Guys, clean beauty does not exist as for now. There are no official frames that would put this is clean and this is not clean. So any brand that is telling you that is a clean beauty brand is deceiving you. Let's just say that. So I prefer to say on my channel that there are good ingredients. So let's have a look together. What kind of ingredients do we have? We are not going to jump very intensively into the ingredients. These reviews, they are on my channel. If you're interested, you can definitely have a look. But basically what is interesting is either on both sides, I actually managed to mark the most important, in my opinion, ingredients, and there are 8 of each side. Really, there are 8 of each side, and it is a huge surprise for me as well. I could not believe it. So when it comes to the Dior side, what can we see? Basically, we can see a moisturizing ingredients in a form of caprylic triglyceride, in a form of glycerin, and in a form of lecithin. These ingredients, they bring moisture to your skin. And then we have the protective ingredients, revitalizing ingredients, and anti-age ingredients in the form of tocopherol, which is a vitamin E. And then we have a very interesting flower extracts, and the root of this concealer from Dior is the extract from Iris Florentina root extract. It is an iris that comes from Italy, and basically it is a very nice hydrating ingredient that tries to maintain hydration to the skin. It is wonderful. The other ingredients in here, there are protective, there are antioxidants, so I can definitely confirm that this concealer brings moisture to your skin. And then apart from that moisture, you have a protection in a form of punchy, powerful antioxidant like tocopherol, which is a vitamin E, and then the extracts from the flowers, which are revitalizing and anti-age. A very good ingredient list when it comes to Dior. So what does the Givenchy Prisme Libre has? It has something that is very interesting and very similar as well. Once again, you have moisturizing ingredients in a form of caprylic triglyceride. There is a glycerin in here, and then there is a lecithin. Then there is one very interesting and intriguing ingredient which is called a pullulan, and this is naturally derived ingredient that smooths your skin. So it looks like you don't have to use silicones to smooth your skin. Right now you can use an ingredient like pullulan that definitely helps to smooth your skin. And then you have a protection in a form of tocopherol, a very punchy antioxidant that is going to protect your skin against the external stressors. And then you have the flower extracts, and one of the most important flower extracts in here is Tropaeolum majus flower leaf stem extract, which basically it is a nasturtium extract and a very good extract from flowers, and it is another antioxidant ingredient that is going to protect your skin. So once again, on the left side, when it comes to Givenchy, we have moisture, we have protection, we have anti-aging and revitalizing ingredients. So when it comes to the huge summary, both of these concealers, guys, they go neck to neck. The approach is slightly different, but still the ingredients are very similar, and a perfect blend of moisture and protection and anti-age. a perfect formulation, and as I've said before, 8 ingredients on one side I marked as most important, and quite unintentionally it looks like on the other side I marked 8 ingredients, active ingredients as well, so they go neck to neck, and both of them, they deserve to have 1 point. Alright guys, the next category that I would like to talk about, and I think it is very important as well, which is an oxidation. And I don't know if you are new to the brand like Dior or Givenchy. If you are new, you have to know that. If you are not new, you're very well aware that complexion products from these brands, they oxidize. They definitely do. Now let's check how much do they oxidize. That's why I put these swatches so that you can see on your own how much do they oxidize. So let's take Dior on this side and quickly spread it. 0.5 N. And then let's take the Givenchy. C105. I think we're ready to present before they're going to oxidize again. So, once again, Dior 0.5 N, guys. The oxidation is definitely significant. And then the Givenchy on this side. So as you can see, when I was applying the Givenchy, especially the shade C105, it looked extremely bright. But then when it oxidizes, it melts with my skin. And it looks quite nice. Why? While the Dior is a little bit more darker. Both of these shades I consider as a very good shades. Nonetheless, I don't understand why people, while reviewing these products, they're not saying anything. This is important. These products, they do oxidize. Give yourself 5 minutes to see its real shade. That is going to be revealed after a while. If you're in a hurry, I do not recommend buying this product. And again, I do not recommend buying these products completely blindly online by just watching on the swatches. The best is to go to the store and have your own swatches and experience so that you can see it. Otherwise, you might finish with a very wrong shade. And these concealers, they're pricey. So once again, guys, let me show you. The Dior 0.5 N oxidized and non-oxidized, and Givenchy Prisme Libre oxidized and non-oxidized C105. So this is how the shades look like from the close-up. So, when it comes to points in this category, the oxidation, they both oxidize, so both of these concealers, they get 0 points in this category. Alright guys, before we're gonna go to the next category, first allow me to get rid of my swatches and I'll be back in just a second. Alright guys, so the swatches are gone, but the next test is going to be a very interesting test because these concealers, they claim to be very good not only in your under eye area but as well on your face. So let's just do it. Let's just go with a flow and apply these concealers on my face and see how will they perform. They're very pigmented, so they don't really need a lot, and you can always add them. Right now I'm going to use the Dior Forever, just 3 dots, and I'm just going to use my hands to spread it very lightly so that you can see how much you can squeeze out of these concealers, and can they really truly be working as some sort of a replacement for your makeup, especially, you know, guys, when you go on some sort of a holidays and, you know, your luggage is limited. Can you just take this type of a concealer that is a skin caring moisturizing concealer And can you just apply it all over your face and enjoy the makeup as it is right now. I'm going to add just a little bit more, but just a little. And I'm not going to put anything on my forehead. This is just a test. As you can see, such kind of a tiny dot can build up the coverage really very nicely. And you can start from a very light coverage to medium coverage with ease. There is a little bit of a scent to this concealer, not too much, not a lot, but I think it's worth to be said. So yeah, guys, there you have it, the concealer all over my face, almost. And this is how it looks like, guys. This is non-covered face, and this is the covered face. I think as all over the face, it looks really quite nice. Once I'm gonna finish the makeup, add a little bit of a color, you're going to see it. But right now, this is how it looks like. On the other side, I am going to use the one from Givenchy, and we're going to see how the Givenchy is going to look like. Once again, 1, 2, 3. And today we are working with my hands and only hands. So let's see and let's spread. It is, every single time I'm using this concealer, I cannot actually believe it. How is that possible that in such a super thin, almost liquidy serum consistency, they squeezed this pigment that spreads so nicely and gives me that coverage? I can't. I am so shook. Look at this. 3 dots. 3 dots gave me this. It's unbelievable. And right now I might look a little bit ghostly, but please do not forget the fact that it is going to oxidize, which means it's going to adapt to my skin tone better. And then I can add some colors so everything will be evened out. Oh, so lightweight, so comfortable to the skin. It's unbelievable. The consistency of Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Concealer, it is unbelievable, and both of them, I can feel moisture. I can feel the elasticity, the sensation. It is really incredible. Alright guys, so once again the concealers are applied. Dior on this side, Givenchy on this side. Let me approach so that I can show you how it looks like from the close-up. Right now it is pretty raw and still unfinished. In a second I'll come with the finished look, but right now I want to see it how it looks like applied raw. So yes, this is the Dior side, and most importantly the under eye. What can we see? I think we can see only the good things. Hardly ever any creasing, melts with the skin. Beautiful. For me personally, a person that is looking for a non-drying concealer, it is a very good score. And then on this side you have the Givenchy, the face. Everything is in 4K, so you know, you see what you see. You see the reality, and everything is filmed in natural light. And the under eye, minimal creasing as well from the Givenchy, which is my beauty. This is something that I personally am expecting. If you are new to the makeup, you might be shocked and maybe thinking, what is he talking about? But for me personally, a person that is having an experience with the makeup, this, what you're seeing right now, it's absolutely normal, or even better than normal, because how it performs right now, it is actually very lovely. So yes, the under eye area, Dior against the Givenchy, and I need to pay attention because it's not really fully set. So when I'm actually touching it, I'm taking off a little bit of it because it's still setting down a little bit, you know, but a little bit of a powder and a little bit of a finished makeup, and that would be good. So yes, guys, I'll be back in just a second. I'll add myself to my face a little bit of a color, and then we continue with this episode. Alright, guys, so here we are back with a little bit of a finished makeup, a little bit of a color to add myself some life. And this is how it looks like. Once again, Dior on this side and the Givenchy on this side. So the last category that I would like to talk about would be the longevity. But to make a longevity test, we will have to wear it for 10 hours to see how it is going to look like. So once again, let me approach and show you the initial application and how it looks like. And the under eye from Dior. And the other side, which is the Givenchy and the under eye. There is a creasing, but once again, there is no a very big deal when it comes to creasing. This, for me, it's absolutely normal. I haven't set it. We are doing a rough test without using powders and setting because we are doing a test for the product without involving any other product. I want to show you how it is going to look like in 10 hours. What's more, I want to show you as well how these products and this makeup is going to look like in the outside light. So right now, let's go outside so that you can see it. And then in the end, I'll see you in the studio for a final summary and check-in, final point distributions when it comes to the longevity. We're going to summarize the points and announce the winner. I wonder, I'm actually very curious which is going to be the winner. Very exciting. So yes, I'll see you in just a second in the outside. Alright guys, I finished filming and then I forgot to tell you about something that I consider very important. We have 11:43 a.m., which is before midday. So let's consider the 10-hour wear test starting from midday, 12 o'clock. I'll see you in 10 hours to check the longevity. But before that, of course, I'll see you outside for a check-in to see how it looks like in the natural light. Let the episode continue. Hello, gorgeous, beautiful stars. Paris Star Channel here welcomes you during this check-in in the natural light outside. By the way, it is getting a little bit windy, so please excuse me for the interruptions and some kind of a probably noise caused by the caused by the wind. But then let's get to the subject, which is a comparison of the makeup. On this side we have a Dior Forever, and on this side we have Givenchy Prisme Libre. So let me approach and show you how it looks like from the close-up, guys. Once again, Dior Forever, and then on this side Givenchy Prisme Libre, and then the under eye area, the Dior, and the Givenchy. Okay, what I can tell you instantly is like it's not looking perfect, but it's looking actually very good. But then we need to wait a few more hours and then we're gonna see the longevity test in my studio. So yes, let's go back to my studio and do the final check-in, the final summary of all the points, and let's acclaim the winner of this super exciting battle. In the meantime, greetings from a beautiful and gorgeous chill out place right over here. Let's go back to the studio and see who's the winner, baby. Hello, gorgeous, beautiful stars. Paris Star Channel here is back, guys, back with a promise of a test for longevity so that we can finally summarize the duel between the Dior Forever Skin Correct and the Givenchy Prisme Libre Concealer. We can finalize the duel and announce the winner. Who is the winner? Guys, I am not even joking. Let me just show you one thing. Ta-da! I don't know if you can see it. It is past 10 in the evening. Basically, what does it mean? Well, I wasn't joking. This is a super test when it comes to longevity. 10 hours without any special help, without any special primers, no primers, without setting powders, without setting sprays, nothing. What you can see now actually is the concealer side by side after 10 hours of wear. So guys, let me just approach so that you can see it for yourself in 4K in a close-up before I'm going to jump in with my conclusion. So, right over here, there's a Dior Forever Skin Correct. And right over here, you have the Givenchy Prisme Libre. And I suppose not only like the makeup is important, but the most important thing is my under eye area. So how does my under eye area look while wearing these concealers for 10 hours without retouching, without setting, without doing anything? I am shook. I am shook. Just, oh my gosh, look at this. And look in my under eye area. Dior against the Givenchy. And I'm just like, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, is this my skin? Granted, of course, I was having acid, so my skin is definitely very well prepped for today's test. That was very important, but still, nonetheless, no primers, no nothing. This formula, this skin caring formula holds on its own. A moisturizing skin caring formula, it is amazing. So yes, guys, when it comes to the last category, which is the longevity category, I believe that both of these products, they really deserve to have a 1 point. The Dior side, very nice and very pretty, and the Givenchy, it is pretty as well. And then when it comes to dryness, let me have a look. See? No real dryness. Nothing. I love that, guys. I love that. So, I guess there won't be a huge surprise when I'm going to say that Dior and Givenchy, they deserve to get a 1 point within this category. They were very well. It is a super skin-like, non-detectable, extreme comfort to the skin, non-drying formula, and I love it. Both of these concealers, they get 1 point. Alright guys, so it is done. We have distributed the points in the category. Once again, let me remind you the category. It was the coverage, the finish, and the consistency. It was the price category. It was the capacity category. It was the shade category. It was the ingredients list category. It was the oxidation. It was the longevity. And we have summarized the points. And the second place with 4 points goes to ta-da! The Givenchy Prisme Libre. 4 points. Which means the winner in this battle, this duel, goes to ta-da, ta-da! Dior. It wins by getting 6 points. 4 points against the 6 points makes the winner for Dior. Dior Forever Skin Correct. What happens? Basically, Givenchy lost when it comes to the price because it's more expensive than Dior, and then it lost when it comes to shade range, 24 shades against 25, 26, depends on the store. So that was the only thing. Because, guys, my final opinion is that you can't go wrong with any of these concealers. They look So similar. They perform so similar. You can actually see it right now. How do they perform side by side after 10 hours of wear? I am not even kidding. Basically, the major difference is with a consistency. This is a super light, comfortable consistency, while this one is slightly thicker consistency. Also very comfortable. So it depends on what kind of consistency do you like to work with. The other difference, as I said, is a shade range a little bit different. Dior Forever goes into a rather warmer and natural, while the Givenchy gives you a variety of different shades, and of course the price. Do you mind? You don't mind spending a little bit more money on Givenchy, or you would like to save a little bit money with a Dior? That's the greatest difference. But then when you look at it side by side after 10 hours, you can't go wrong with these. It is an extremely good formula, skin caring formula. What does it mean for me? A non-drying formula. After 10 hours, my skin is not really tired, and I can still wear this makeup, and I'm just like looking at myself, and I'm just gagging, like gagged. So good, so good. So once again, you can't go wrong with any of these concealers. The choice is yours. So one more time, last look at my makeup after 10 hours of wear. Dior against the Givenchy. So yes, guys, the test is done, and so the winner, the Dior by points. But if you would ask me, I will say I love both of them. There are days when I love Givenchy, there are days that I love Dior. They're both very similar, really, when it comes to ingredients, performance, how do they look on your skin, and the longevity. They're so similar. So yes, guys, this episode has come to an end. Thank you so very much for watching. Thank you so very much for tuning and celebrating with me diversity. Diversity makes us all different and beautiful. As for now, this episode has come to an end, but I invite you to watch other episodes. See you soon from Paris with love. Mwah. Take care. Bye bye now.